today is the 18th of September, Heritage Month. And today we have the honor to have a very special guest, Gogo Mahlozi, with us. Some of us know her as Nelly, some of us know her as the Queen, some of us know us as the mother to all. Some of us know her as the activist, the leader, the one that is not going to take any nonsense from anybody. Welcome so much. Nelly, it's so exciting to be here. Please first tell me, what do I call you today?
I think that today, because I'm actually kind of so much into my spiritual, alignment. I actually, I've got like two names from FSA. And the two names that I got, it was the first name that I actually got was Gogo Mahlozi. It means that the one that stays in water. And I actually because I actually did the Sotho, I'm a Sangoma, and I did, because there are different kinds of of being Umungoma. So James is Sotho, and the Sotho name that I got, it's actually Gogo Mahlozi, because it was because the name was actually given to me because when I was at Pexeni, the funny thing is that I never believed in being a Sangoma. Actually, I was the one person who was always, those people that goes and, it's all, I was actually one person who was demonizing and being a Sangoma. And when I was at Pekweni, the first ancestor that actually visited me was my grandmother. And after that hectic visit of my grandmother, they gave me a name and they said that I am Mahlozi, which means that Itozi is actually Itozi. It's when you are channeled and because my body, I have allowed my body to become like a vessel for those who have passed on to actually come inside of my body. I wouldn't say possess per se, even though some people would actually call it possess, but I would say that when actually I allow those who could not finish certain things on this living earth to come and be in my body, and I actually allow them, to actually fulfill only the things of the life. That is what it means, because there's a difference between Badimo and there's a difference between Mahlozi.
Yes.
So
but
you
now,
can call me
you say
Mahlozi.
today I call you Gogo Mahlozi today. Okay. I discovered a book. I didn't think we were going to go so early. I have a copy of this book.
Okay.
By Mkhulu Zingisa, The African Calendar. Are you familiar with it?
Yes. I am very, very familiar with that book. I've never read the book, but I've actually I have seen a lot of content of Mkhulu Zingisa, and I've familiarized myself with this content because through such people like Mkhulu, it's only then that we can actually find our traditional and spiritual ways being documented. You understand? And so I am actually a bit familiar and with the works of Mkhulu.
Yes. Let me tell you what's gonna go down, I think, so that you know maybe what to expect, so that whatever flow we go, we remember to touch on three things. I'll show you the calendar because according to this calendar, it's our new year this weekend. And it's also Heritage Day. And I would like your take on like what the importance of this month is. And then I also want to talk about something completely different. So it might not be easy to jump topics. I also want you to talk about what your feminism practice is, specifically with sex positivity and being sexy and being sultrous, because the old feminism from my old days, feminists were not beautiful women. They were tending to be, as if like they can't get men or something. that all has changed.
Yes.
So I want to know what kind of feminism you practice. I know it's not superficial, obviously. And then I also want to talk about your activism. So do you mind if we start with your activism, you know? Because how
No
we
problem. Yeah.
we introduced you. I mean, first of all, thank you for coming before us. I do believe that the work that we're doing at Tulwana, if you hadn't done some of the trans activism that you were just doing for yourself and helping others, you and Cleo, so many of you guys that have been around have really done important work. What actually made you decide you're going to be as brave as you are? I know you camped out in doctors' offices, you know, have you got like something that you can share, some of your highlights of some of the things, even some of the scary stuff, and even some of the stuff we need to know is happening, you know? We are all ready to hear some of your, because some people maybe don't know you, you know? So they don't know that you were there fighting for trans people to kind of just have space in spaces. So let's talk about your activism.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to start.
I never thought that I was going to be an activist. I don't think that whoever is an activist, you don't just wake up one day and you tell yourself that, you know what, now I want to be an activist and I want to fight for the right. You understand? So my activism started. I met my mother, Leanne van der Merwe. I met her some years back, I think, when I was actually working for another organization. I met her, you know, and where we met, I was actually working as a bookkeeper in the organization at the time. So I met her, and being me, just a mere girl that came from our free state, we have been called by our legal names there, where we had actually went. So she was the one person who stood out and said that this girl cannot be called by those names. You understand? And her bravery, shocked me so much because now, when you're actually sitting with funders and all that you want to do is, because we cannot stay away from the fact that from the funders, you want the ching-ching. So she said to us, she just went and like, you girls should not allow anybody to call you by those names. You understand? And she asked us, what are your preferred names? It was me and you at the time. And I actually told her, my preferred name is Nelly, I told her. And from that moment, she made sure that we were being called by those names. And she said to us, girls, you need to fight. When you are here, you're not only presenting yourself. Activism on its own needs you to be selfless. Need you to like understand that you're not only just, it's your voice that actually is speaking for other people out there. So my activism started from that day. I went and I actually said to myself, never ever on any day will I allow anybody, because I had past experiences with me being called my name. Obviously at the university, everybody calls me, by my legal names, which were Tabiso Sylvester Masuko at the time. And I remember there was one time when I actually had went to write an exam, and actually wrote an exam hours after everybody had written, because what they said was that you cannot be looking like this. You're actually here to actually write an exam for somebody else. You understand? Because it was made such a big fuss. We had to go and call out the lecturer. I have had those experiences, and at the time I was actually having those experiences, I felt that I didn't have a voice, because I was actually at the mercy of the university at the time. And I wanted, what if I just say that, no, I am like this, and they just, they just only like chase me out at the time. I had not even begun to do my transitioning process. So I had experiences that were horrific before then. And when I was actually going through those experiences, I was voiceless. I believe that I actually needed somebody who could just only I wouldn't say that, but I believe that she, she provoked an activist. And from then I was unstoppable. I made sure that I am the first trans woman here in Botshabelo to ever start on hormones. And when I say to ever start on hormones, I was the first one to start on hormones, through the black market. I'm not even shy about that. And I am the first trans person here in Free State to get my hormones through an hospital. And when I actually started my hormones, and in 2016 or somewhere between those, I actually I spoke on national television, and I said that you guys are only focusing on AIDS and HIV, but you guys are not focusing on the drivers and factors that are actually contributing to us actually contracting HIV. It's not easy for me to be living in this body that I'm in. And at the time, I remember the phrases that I was actually using was, I am trapped in this body. Every trans woman has went through that process. So, Nostana, my activism started there. And from then, I've went home. I'm the first person, the first trans woman from Free State to go to Home Affairs and say that you guys need to change my ID. And you guys need to change my name. And they wanted me all sorts of documentation that I knew that it was, for some people, it's actually impossible to get those documentation. They told me that I needed to come with my mother's birth certificate. Sorry, yes?
Oh, I want to say, did you successfully change your gender marker on your ID?
I have changed my gender marker. Yes, I did. And, when I say that activism needs you to be to be selfless, I was actually privileged to say that I could have access in Cape Town and just change my ID just like that, or go to Joburg and change it like that. But I actually wanted to change it here in Botshabelo because I knew that me changing it here at Botshabelo was going to create a path for other trans women. Like my daughter also got it and changed hers here in Botshabelo. It was never an easy journey, but I understand that activism is never an easy journey. Some people are even saying that activism doesn't pay bills.
When you say daughters, are you talking about your support group in Trans IM, or are you talking about just generally you're available? Tell us about a Trans IM also, please. Your organization that you co-founded. Who did you co-found it with? Who is the other mysterious co-founder? May we know them?
Okay. When I speak about my daughters, because my mother told me that you need to go and also groom other girls to become like you. Don't just be one person who's selfish with this information, because one day you're going to pass on and leave this world, and you need to leave a legacy here. So I have a lot of daughters that I have mothered, birthed, and that I've also groomed to, also have daughters. So my daughters have daughters also. And when I speak, I can, like, the list is endless of my daughters. And the Trans I Am organization that's not registered. You remember that it's not even registered. It was actually, we founded this organization with my daughter and my sister, Leo. We said that we wanted yes, it was founded by me and her. And we said that we wanted to form something speak to the soul and hand. We at the time, we are more vouching and more advocating for trans women. And I believe that if there's any trans men that are also out there, they can come forth. But we felt that, we are living in a world whereby some spaces need to be, advocated by people who are speaking from the heart, who are not speaking from, from literature, who are not speaking from researches that have been done. So the co-founder is Leo Boyson.
So I think you still offer, I don't want to call them services. May I call them services? What kind of support do you offer your daughters or people who, if somebody wants to know what you all do when you get together, do you meet? Do you talk? What do you do? What advice, or do you have other people that can come in and help you, experts that come and help you? Even those informal, I
Yes.
get the feeling you may be very well connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you all do?
Oh, the help that we actually get, sometimes I believe, there was one time where we invited a friend of mine who was actually studying psychology at the time. We offered her, but before she could even speak to other, she could speak to other sisters and ladies. We actually ensured that we sensitized her, and when we sensitized her, we ensured that we sensitized her for almost like it was for like 2 years, up until to the point whereby we said that we are sure that this woman has no unconscious bias. Because sensitizing people, even in a formal setting, you just get there, you give them notes, and then after giving them notes, you expect them to understand whatever that you say. We wanted her to understand that we are human beings. You're not just only harassed. We are actually like the people who are going through experiences. And even at the time that she was also helping us there, we were with her all the time. We have tried to secure, cases of whereby we would just know one doctor and we sensitize this person informally so. And then after doing that, we actually say to this doctor, can we refer, one or two sisters? After that, we let the sisters come back to us and say that this experience that I've had with this doctor, I felt that, maybe you could have also been there. But you know what we do is that when you speak to one of us, it's either you speak to one of us with the mother there or you don't speak to us at all.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, that's very important. I mean, I'm the trans advocate officer, and here at the Gender Exchange, we've been trying to sensitize quite a large population of people about what gender is and the crisis that you have when you're saying also that you're trapped in your body. So if you are supporting so many women, how can I know I need your services? For example, if you're saying trans men can come, you can help them. I feel like I also need to be part of your network somehow. How can we know what you need and what you do, so that we also know who can you help better, and maybe you can also extend other people to us for what we do if we do it differently from you. Is there a way that you can describe what you do?
Yeah, how it's not like we have, like a checklist whereby we can say that, Sana, we give you a checklist or maybe a questionnaire and then you have to fill it in. What we do is that, we let it come from here. We let it come from the heart. And you remember that even now in our conversation, I said to you, Sana, you're always welcome to come. And it's because, if the energy is actually genuine, and we can see that you're not only doing this work for, just for money, that's one thing I hate. I could feel that you were doing it from the heart. You've always been doing it from the heart. And a lot of people have even went to as far as even asking me and say, like, how come when it's no sana you allow? And I said to them that I am not allowing Tulwana Emulimo. What I'm actually allowing is Nosana, because I know that Nosana will never, ever, do any harm to us. And Nosana is not there for the money. Nosana is not only coming to us. And if there's anybody out there who feels that they want to come to us. We, our doors are always open, even though we don't have an office door. But our doors are always open to welcome anybody who's actually, willing to ensure that trans women are seen as human beings and are not seen as key population and are not seen as research participants. We do the work from the heart because we know the struggle. We know where we have been. You understand? Somebody was saying that we have went as far as using Vaseline. So we know.
I mean, for me, I really think it's important that, somehow we find a way to work together, because we really want to gain the trust of the trans community. Tulana Molemo, we've been offering our HIV testing and counseling services to the trans community since 2019. We're quite young. We're not as experienced, but we're getting there as maybe other organizations that have been around longer. So I really think it's important that if there's something that we can do together, we do it, So
we will definitely do it. With you, of course, being on the front line.
We want to repair maybe any concerns that maybe the trans community that come to you and don't come to us may have. We can talk openly here. Hope, you can tell us maybe some of the things that they would come to you for that they won't come to us for. Are you willing to share some of those things? Then we know, oh, okay, let's improve this, Who would come to us? Why wouldn't somebody else come to us and instead come to you? Just so we know what we're dealing with,
Yeah. Okay. People hate trans people. We hate feeling like just like we hate feeling like dead. That's one thing. We need somebody who will be able to understand when I say that I've just had my hormones, I'm not in a good mood. You understand? And most I think two, if I can just mention two of the elements that actually people are saying that we would rather talk to you than go there. You understand? People come to us because they actually feel that we understand what they are going through. Not that your organization is not actually doing that. You understand? But people need that full connection with them. Don't just, come to me when you need to test me for HIV. Come to me when you need to understand that I also need my matric. You understand? I also need can I just come to your organization and you allow me to print my CV without you questioning me for a lot of things? Because there's even that time, Nosana, when you're writing a simple proposal, you'll just make copies 5 times before you get to the right proposal. You understand? So doing that and understand the needs of people. Don't ask me when was the last time I had sex. Ask me when was the last time I had a good meal. And understand that it also costs for me to be like that. And also try and, find ways to ensure that I can be able to access and understand the way that the system, when I think about the system, maybe I can mention one, understand that it's not easy for me to go to universities all alone, where you can just call me and say that, you know what, no, I did a referral to see you can go. You don't know how I'm going to get there. You understand? So we help each other as sisters, whereby we even went as far as saying that, are you willing to, you want to go to universities? We would donate 5 friends as sisters to ensure that when we get you, we ensure that one sister goes there.
No, that's really important. I mean, this conversation between you and I really think that some of the work that you've been doing, I don't want you to feel like it's thankless work, maybe through all the people you've helped, the people you've affected, but it's also really important for people to know who you are, because there'll be people that will find you even if you're not registered, So, and if you're talking from the heart, let's talk about your journey. I know if you are a prophetess, a sangoma, a gobela, it's like you've graduated, like you've started somewhere and now you're even, tell us, what are all those things? What is a medium? What is a prophetess? What is a sangoma? What is a gobela? Are they all different? How did you start? When did you start?
Okay. I started, I think about 2 years ago. That's the funny thing. And I've graduated in all the streams. So when I started, I never understood what is being a medium. A medium is somebody that can be able to have a conversation with spirit that is passed on and deliver these messages. And spirits actually deliver messages not in a language that we are speaking right now. For example, a spirit will just, a spirit will just say that you'll see spirit holding hands with somebody that means that spirit is actually saying that they are not alone. They are all together there. But of course, and you will see a lot of things through the spiritual world. Spirit is always speaking to us, but it's just that some people are just, when your third eye is not open, sometimes you cannot hear what spirit is saying. Hence, you will always see that somebody when something bad is about to happen, you say that, but I felt that something something was not right that day. It's because spirit, when it speaks to us, it speaks in a language that in a spiritual language. You understand? So being a medium is actually somebody who's able to have conversation with spirit. And you need to understand that I never understood myself as a medium, because there were times when I was actually saying that I felt from a young age that there's always people around. You understand? And when I was not, let's say I'm not with you, Nosana, I actually thought that you could change into something, and then you could talk about me and talk with me when you were not there. These were actually my traits of being a medium, but I did not understand them. You understand? So a medium is actually somebody who can be able to deliver messages from the light and the dark also, because there's always those dark spirits and there's always those light spirits. Hence, when we partner, we say that because they're always there. So that's me being a medium. And me being a Sangoma is because a Sangoma is actually a healer. But to become a Sangoma, you actually have to heal people. And I think it's very, very important that we understand. We understand our callings. Our callings are different. You might be called for something totally different. You might actually be being called for, for dark spirits. It's quite normal. There's nothing, that's actually but so. And me being a prophetess,
the dark spirits.
Sorry.
Aren't we supposed to avoid the dark spirits?
We are all supposed to avoid dark spirits, but we cannot stay away from the fact that there are people out there who have been called for dark spirits, who have actually, before you called, let me just unpack the calling. Before you get called to Nosana, from before you could even get to your mother's womb, your spirit agrees with the higher level of consciousness. And it actually knows that before it even comes to this world, it has come to, to actually do certain things. So there are those people. And it's very, very, you will see that, everybody that has been called, they started with the light spirit. They started with the, with the light side of things, and then they ended up maybe for certain reasons and a lot of people are actually being called for money to go to the dark side. You understand? We cannot also shy away from them. And you will see that when a spirit of your great grandmother, who was actually a witch, says that they want to, there is you're never forced to do anything. You agree with that spiritually in order for that to actually evolve and live inside of you. Hence, I say that there are people who have been called for that. It's because they have agreed with the darkness. They have agreed to say that when I come to this world, I'm going to be doing things of the darkness.
Yeah,
and to a prophet, I'm a prophet because I can see the future and I can also deliver a message.
You can see the future. Can you see any future or different specific ones that which ones?
I actually, I work with the principle of saying that when you consult, you give consent. So once you have consulted with me, even before I actually throw my tarot cards and my bones, I always tell people that I can see the bones can be able to, see things that have happened in your past and things that have actually happening to you right now and things that will happen to you in the future.
Oh, so it's with the tarot cards and the bones that you can see the future. Did we? think we mentioned
even
it
from
earlier.
just the intuition, it's not even through objects, because now we cannot I always tell even my initiates and my students, I always tell them that the most important thing for somebody to actually understand it's in here. You are born with that. You understand? And when we actually throw in the bones, that's when we are actually, because this is the way of our great-great-grandparents who used to use such methods in order for them to deliver the messages. So it depends on, like, my name is Mahlozi. It depends on which spirit is being channeled at the time and which spirit want to use what. I believe that every time, I'm not speaking on behalf of every Sangoma topic, but I believe that we can be able to see, you see it through here. You see it through your third eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I actually can't make the connection yet from activist to healer, Was that difficult for you? Did you have to sacrifice anything? Is there something that's continuing that is activism like, even in this new journey, which is your spiritual journey? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yes.
Because you were working as an auditor, right? You were in finance.
Yes.
Yeah, what happened?
And then, okay. So the connection is that, even through Ebongomeni, because I believe that I'm also a teacher, I am actually advocating, for Ubungom, to actually be in a way that, everybody would be able to understand it. You understand? And I believe that even me becoming a person and becoming an activist, that was when my ancestors wanted me to, be there and be seen in order for this important work that I'm doing now, for other people to also understand it. You understand? Because if you will see that our great ancestors, they were, their voices were being taken away from them. And I am actually advocating as an activist to say that it's okay for a trans woman to go to a pastry and also be treated as a woman, because we cannot be being shy and say that when you go to a pastry, there are still those stereotypes that are even within the traditional space, whereby people are even saying that you cannot be a Sangoma, you understand, because now what you are living is not right. Who said that? Who documented that in those spaces? You understand? And I believe that I am advocating in the space to say that I'm advocating for us to go back to our African ways, but
so
not.
In other words, sorry, let me jump in quickly. Do men and women, when they become initiated, do they go through different processes, because men do it like this and women do it like that, and you're saying you did it as a woman because it's done differently for men and women? Yeah, but
it's actually like you will see that even when let's say there's from Mukiting, usually and some people are doing it different. I'm not speaking. I'm speaking based on my experiences and based on my knowledge. Some people are doing it in a way that only women will start and beat her first. Now, you understand, and then maybe let's say after 3 a.m. it will be men that are doing it. You understand? So you will see that in other, we cannot stay away from the fact that even when I went to a training, Nosana, I wanted, my privacy not to be violated. And I thank my ancestors for actually giving me a Bobela that's also a trans woman. You understand? Because not that, yes, because there are certain rituals that are being done whereby you will be, if it's done to you as a woman, only men will go in there, and if it's done to you as a woman, only women will go in there. And in my case, it became so much different, because now there's rituals when they had to be done to me, which I will never mention. that when they were being done to me as a trans woman, my Gobela would always say that this is no women will be allowed, and also no men will be allowed in this process. Only trans women will be allowed in that process. As much as you women only allow women to be in that space, and as much as you men only allow men to be in there. This is a trans woman, and only trans women will be allowed in that space.
Wow, no, the activism is strong, I wanted to talk about feminism with you because I feel all of this is like strong female energy, And there was a time when like being a strong feminist meant you kept it covered, you wore a polo neck like me, you wear a suit, you wear lingerie, you're that kind of feminist, and you're proud. Tell us about your feminism. How do you live it? How do you experience it? What do you believe in, when it comes to that?
Yeah, my feminism is actually allow me to be me. Do not box me in any way. You understand? And allow me to be me and understand my own feminism in a way that I understand it. I believe in self. You understand? In you being you in a spaces of feminism. We cannot. Then I think that if we do feminism and we say that feminism is you not getting married, then we're making it religion. It's no longer feminism. You understand? Understand a woman and understand that we as women are different beings having a human experience, but at the end of the day, we are carrying different spirits. And through those spirits, we need to understand that allow me to be me. Allow other people to be, do not make it a religion and box everybody and say that, there's nothing wrong in feminism. There's nothing wrong about another woman if they are actually allowing, their husband to do everything for them. You understand? And saying that I am a lady, I should have a man to pull my chair, open the door for me. Yeah. And if I say that I'm strong enough, to pull my own chair, you need to understand that is pure feminism. And if I say that I can be able to open my door, thank you. And if another woman is actually saying that I can be able to, I allow my man to open the door for me because my man cares for me. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's not box feminism and and make it as if there's like like this or angry or and be like that and say that I don't allow my husband to pay your bola for me because now me that would actually be saying that he's buying me. He's buying me knowing that I'm going to be me. And there's nothing wrong with other women allowing that. You understand? So let's allow feminism to become, let's not make feminism become religion and box people with an undocumented thing that says that you can't pull the chair for me. If you want to pull the chair for me, if you want to shower me with money, shower with money. And if I can say that I want to work for my money, allow me to work for my money. That's pure feminism, not boxing feminism.
So basically, it's like that picture that I've seen of different kinds of women, a woman in a wheelchair, a queer woman, a woman dressed, with the hijab, that thing, a woman in a bikini, that you can be any kind of woman. And if you consider yourself, that you've got equal rights to any kind of life that you want as a woman or however way you identify, then it's perfectly okay.
It's okay for you, and don't judge others.
Yeah, don't expect other people to do things that you would do and be shocked when they do things differently. I need to be careful
because
now
we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Sorry.
Exactly. I want to get back to the spiritual now because I even liked it that you're saying the spiritual, African spirituality needs to be a major focus on what we talk about, right? So I want to kind of talk about how they like to say that if you are trans, maybe you are an automatic spiritually gifted. Ooh, I wonder what if you are because you can balance two energies, masculine and feminine, or you can change from a sex you were to be a different gender, you know. So is there a spiritual reason for that? Maybe. I don't know, I don't want to go too far in. Yeah, but you know, is it a spiritual condition to be trans? I didn't want to ask it that plain.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm asking.
Okay. No, Sana. I think even people out there are always saying that means that automatically you can become a Sangoma. You understand? And I believe that it's because LGBTI people have learned to only trust in the higher spirit of level of consciousness, because we have been abused so much by people. We have been abused so much by religion. And we have relied and we have,
Oh, frozen. But we are back. My Christian, I was a little bit shy to ask you this, you know, because I'm thinking, I hope I'm not feeding the incorrect stereotype when I ask you, is there a spiritual reason for people to be trans? And I don't know if it's, can I ask, and what do you think? What's your opinion on that?
Based on my experience and my knowledge, I believe that like I said, we are human beings having a human experience. And the human experience that we are actually having is for us as trans people to be in this body and also to be trans. It's also somehow it's actually connected to our spiritual journey. Because remember that we are all human beings spiritual and being spirit.
Yeah.
You understand? That's the thing. I believe that I'm brave to even quote and say that the same reason that happened for Jesus as spirit to become a human being and go back and be a spirit is the same reason for us as trans people to become and be trans and go back to being spiritual beings.
Oh, okay. I think I get it. It's just simplifying it and not looking at it as something unusual. You know what I mean? Because earlier it seemed like you were saying that. I thought earlier you were going to say that. I'm not quite sure, but I love how you've simplified it. I don't want to ask you too many questions today because you're joining us on Thursday with Ken, Gogo Mahlozi, and the girl Gogo Mahlozi. You know, it's fascinating 5 years later, you know, having known some of you guys and sometimes like watching your growth and things like that, like it's really important for us to kind of embrace this. It would break my heart if I heard that maybe you were experiencing any stigma or discrimination because you're a trans Gogo. But it seems like you've got that handled. You are doing the activism in that space, you know. I'm looking forward to asking you more questions on Thursday because I want to go deeper into, you know, because it's our Heritage Month and it's a new year. If there's anything that the trans community can actually benefit at this time of the year, do you know what I mean? Because spiritually we can pray for different things and things like that. So I can't wait to find out from you all three of you, like what is your message to the trans community as spiritual healers, you know? But let me give you a chance to say that today, because one of the reasons why I became an activist is because I was tired of the queer community having this bad stereotype. Oh, we all drink too much, we all party too much. I wanted to have an independent voice, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what my question is, you know, like, what do you wish now that there's this new position the trans community is in, that they're in the healing space, you know? What important things can happen as trans women are in the healing space?
To everyone out there and everyone that is actually trans and in the spaces of being a sangoma, listen to your spirit, understand your purpose, and understand why you are actually being called. You understand, and understand that even the not so good things that are happening to you, at the end of the day, they are happening for your greater good that's out there that you just don't know yet. And also acquire the space. And don't be too aggressive. Understand it. Because even to me, when I became a Sangoma, there were certain things that I did not agree with. But I understood that the Nelly that I had to die. The Nelly that I was had to die in order for the Gogo Mahlozi to live. You understand? Hence, even when you become a Sangoma, we have to slaughter something. You understand? Like even for even for Christians to become Christians, Jesus had to die on the cross. But then that is being glorified. And you becoming a Sangoma when a goat is being slaughtered, it's actually being demonized. Understand your journey and understand your calling, and always know that you must acquire the space. And but you need to know that as humble as you are, you know, like even from the Bible, I can quote and say that you know, David had to become a shepherd in order for David to become a king. Understand that? You understand what I'm saying? Moses had to kill people in order for Moses to actually take people out of slavery. You understand what I'm saying? A woman who's been identified as a sex worker in the Bible had to actually wash Jesus' feet in order for her to actually find grace. You understand? Of course, there's nothing wrong with being a sex worker. Oh, there's nothing wrong. We are all sex workers at the end of the day, I always say. Some of us are prepaid, some of us are actually on contract, and some of us are actually, you know, yes, but that's a topic for another day.
But you don't have to, I mean, you're consulting and you're helping different people, also cisgender people. Do you feel like you are a Gogo only for trans women? Or
I am okay. In order for somebody, in order for somebody to be called Gogo, let's unpack that. In order for you to be called Gogo, it's because you carry wisdom. You understand? And you have reincarnated from so many lives in order for you to become a Gogo. A Gogo in English, I would say that it's actually, you know, like a phrase that, or a title that we say that this is the wiser one. People who have lived, like even certain things that I even say sometimes, Nosana, I get shocked because I don't understand where I'm taking them from. But it's because my great ancestors have lived experiences and they have carried wisdom to me. So I am not a Gogo for only trans people. I am a Gogo to heal people and to also, you know, to connect with ancestors and deliver messages from greater spirits that are out there and deliver them to the world of the living. That's why I'm called a Gogo.
Exactly. No,
because there was even, sorry.
You know how people can sometimes
Yeah.
misunderstand. I was just asking for
And
that.
they say, why am I? Yeah, even at FSN, people were like, why are you, should we call you Mkulu or should we call you Ugogo? And I said, and I told them that because of, I am a woman at the end of the day. And people that, like, and it depends on spirit that is actually leading you. You understand? You can be Uno Sana, but then we will have to call you Umkud because now from people that are actually but about Samaista, people that are actually working with you through the
Yeah.
journey of you becoming a Sangoma. It might be that the male one is actually the one that is actually like the front is actually at the front line. You understand? For me, it was always Ukoko that was there. You understand? Because my Kobela said to me, Nelly, we can't call you, you must understand that even if we will call you Mkulu, we'll be calling you Mkulu because now we'll be seeing people that are working with you. And the strongest one that is actually at the front line will actually be that one where we'll have to call you. You can go to a person as a trans woman and come back and be called Mkulu.
Oh, I
Or
see.
you can be a woman or cis woman and then you call Mkulu because now the people that are working with you, the strongest one or the one that is at the front of the line is actually your grandfather. Are you there?
Different points of views maybe on Thursday. And I really encourage people to kind of like ask questions. I was going through the Facebook and trying to see if maybe anyone has asked you a specific question. It seems like people are just really supporting what you're saying. The girl who we'll be talking to next week is already saying she agrees with you, Han. All your gifts are different. And Sister G, our very own Sister G, saying, I'm glad that you're highlighting the fact that people should be genuinely interested in the general well-being of trans people. Thank you, Gogo Mahlozi. And yeah, people are just giving you love and hearts. Yeah, so this was a warm-up, I think. If people are ready for this topic, it's African time. We are here, it's our time. Africa time is now. So maybe let's educate ourselves. If these are our lives and our sisters like yourself are going through what you're going through, we want to know what your life is like, as a trans woman, as a son woman, as a healer, as all these things. So there's a lot to appreciate. I mean, I can't predict the future, but I can really guess that I think some positive things are going to happen. Because if you're operating from a place of love, a place of light, place of truth, you never know, people are going to, have a good experience with you. I'm not here to critique how you do things. We're just here to learn. But Gogo Mahlozi is a healer now. Is there anything else you want to leave us with as your closing comments?
Okay. African people, this is our new year. And let's understand the African calendar, very important. Like a lot of countries actually understanding their own calendars, like China, for instance, they understand their own calendar. This is our year where we should be planting seeds. This is our year. This is our year whereby we should actually be praying and actually seeking ancestors for things that we need. And let's not forget that in March, when Umvelilanga leaves, when the sun leaves the moon in March, we need to understand that we need to tell the sun all the good things that are happening to us. And you will see that as Sangomas, we are wearing it's because our great grandparents understood that this is the time for us to actually be planting the seed. You understand? This is our new year. This is actually this is the time whereby we are actually supposed to be writing our own resolutions and not be writing them in January as the Western calendar says. This is the time for us to actually say that this is the beginning of new things. And remember that itozi lakho is as much powerful as you believe. Badimo ba hao ba na le matla o latela ka mokgwa wena o kgolwang ka teng. That is the principle that is being carried by Christians, by people who are practicing Buddhism, by the people who are praying Krishna, by the Jews. But let's, as we as African people, because we are carrying one hormone that's not being carried by other people. Let's understand that we should be praying to our own ancestors. Of course, we're not forcing you, but understand it in that way. This is our new year. Nosana, if you have not written your resolutions, it's time that you start, writing them down, because this is the new year. For us, this is January.
Yes, we've got one more week until New Year's Day. So I totally agree. Thanks for reminding me. I do need to write some resolutions. This has been very exciting. Thank you so much, Gogo. It's nice to know you in this way. It's so beautiful to see trans women being any kind of woman with any other beauty and possibility. So thank you for like this totally fresh, beautiful experience that you're sharing with us. So yeah, all the best. Carry on. We'll talk again on Thursday. Thank you to everyone who joined us. Thanks for coming through to the change. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thokozani.